What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A very special day for Isaac Abner Photography. It's not every day you get a new camera. I've been considering this decision for weeks. I've had it narrowed down to two options. I've been debating between the Sony A7S III and the Sony A7C, and I finally made my decision. We have decided that we are going to go with the Sony A7C, and I couldn't be happier with my decision. Today we're going to do a special unboxing video where we dig into this camera, figure out what's going on with it. It won't be a full review. We'll do that at some point in the future, but today we're going to get this thing out, start playing around with it. And just a little inside baseball here. I've had this camera with me all week and it's been all I could do to not break into it, but I wanted to save it for you guys. But before we get into unboxing this camera, if you guys could, take a moment, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. But kind of getting down to it, I'll talk you through my decision making a little bit. I'm a professional photographer and I own a photography company called Cumberland River Photo. And my friend and I have had a really good year. It's my business partner. But we're getting to that point where it's time to start talking about getting a second body. Again, a little inside baseball. Next weekend, we have two weddings. He's gonna be at one and I'm gonna be at the other. Now, ordinarily, a wedding wouldn't be a problem for us. We would be both be there shooting. If one of our cameras goes down, the other will be there at a minimum to deliver the project. However, since we're both going to be going in different directions, it's become incumbent on us to both have a camera, a backup camera in our bag in the event that one of our cameras goes down. It's just unacceptable, the thought that one of our cameras could jam, a shutter could break, any number of things could go wrong, and we wouldn't have a body to fall back on. So that left us with a decision. Our business has taken us into the video sphere quite a bit over the past year, which naturally led us to consider the Sony A7C, which, hear me out, is just a wonderful camera body. That's the one we actually wanted. However, we are trying to run a business, so we decided to look at all of our options. It's no secret the A7S III is priced at $3,500, a very expensive body, where this comes in at about $1,700, $1,800. So it's almost a $2,000 savings, and especially when you're buying two camera bodies at once, that $2,000 savings really comes into play. So not to say that price was the only factor that led us to this decision, but it was definitely a significant factor in us deciding to wind up with the A7C bodies. Kind of the final factor that pointed me towards the Sony A7C was Sony Catalyst Browse Image Stabilization. It's a feature that ever since the Sony A7S III came out, I have wanted it so bad. I was reading an article on the internet and I found that the A7C has it too. So once I found that out, it looks like to me that the only real standout features that you're missing in this camera from the Sony A7S are the 4K 120, a little higher quality 4K image quality, and then also the legendary low light performance. So we won't be getting either of those things, but the bulk of the other features are there. My other camera body is a Sony A7R III, so I think this makes a really nice complement to that body. And actually, this one will now become my primary vlogging body. I never vlogged much with my Sony A7R III, but this camera has a couple of features that I think are going to make vlogging almost irresistible. So without further ado, I say we get into it. It's got that new camera smell right out the box. It smells like a factory in Japan. Someone's gonna write in the comments that this actually wasn't made in Japan. We've got the usual complement of Sony Accessories, which is to say not much. We have a strap that we won't be using. We have a charging block. We have a battery. Before I move too much further along, I'll take a second to talk about the battery. This is another reason I decided to go with this body. This camera, although it has the APS A6000 type shape, actually uses the bigger Sony camera batteries from the Sony A7S, A7R, so you're getting that long life, really good camera battery in this. So the fact that I could use my Sony A7R, use my A7C, and keep the same battery between both bodies, very important. Very important factor. So good job, Sony, keeping the battery consistent. I don't care if you use this in every battery. Put this thing in an RX 100, I don't care. Love it, love that battery. Now here we are getting to the main feature, and I can already tell as I pull it out that I absolutely love the shape of this thing. Wow. I used an A6000 for a time early on in my photography career, and this brings back a lot of memories. Just a really nice shape. Feels a lot smaller than my Sony A7R III. Not having that hump on top makes this feel like a much, much smaller package. Also, not very thick. You can take a look at that there. Wow, just a very thin profile and hardly any weight to it. This is a brilliant camera design by Sony. Immediately noticing that there is no dial on the front. I don't think it would have been too much engineering trouble for Sony to have worked that in, but I'm hesitant to complain. We do have one on the back. I'm rubbing my thumb across, and I'm missing a lot of buttons that would be programmable on this thing. I see it has an EVF. I've read quite a few reviews and watched quite a few YouTube videos about that at this point. I have heard the EVF is very small, very cramped, and I'm putting it up to my eye right now. I don't have a battery and I can't see, but it is a teeny tiny little window, maybe half the size of my Sony A7R III, so that could be a drawback as well. Kind of looking the camera over, feels very, very well made. I'm rubbing my finger across it. The body is cold, feels like it's made out of metal. Nice, solid build quality. Feels like it'll stand up to several years of professional use. I'm pretty hard on my cameras. I don't baby them, they are tools. This feels like it's gonna be able to stand up to the wear and tear that I typically put a camera body through. Kind of looking it over here, really, really love the front-facing screen. It's no mystery, I do a lot of vlogging. That is essential, being able to see your picture as you're filming it. Kudos to Sony. Every body that they make from now on should have this in it. This is essential photography at this point. We need a front-facing screen. I love the fact that you can close it up, offer some protection for that LCD when you throw it in the bag. The size and the weight and the front-facing screen really tell me that this is a camera that is going to be well suited to vlogging. I'm really excited to use this. For the longest time, I've vlogged using my iPhone 12 Pro Max, but I think going forward, I'm going to convert to trying to use my Sony A7C now. This is just a really nice package. My initial impressions of this camera though are that Sony has really done a good job designing it. They've kept all the essential features from the A7R line and they've condensed them down and packed them into this really small, wonderful package. It is actually a 24 megapixel sensor. Some folks may view that as a drawback. I'm a landscape photographer. I feel that, and I won't be using this on many of my landscape missions. However, as a working professional, I have shot hundreds of shoots at this point of different folks, and not one time has anyone brought up needing more megapixels. I'm delivering 40-something megapixels with my A7R III, and I think people are very happy with that. I think that they will be just as satisfied with the 24 megapixels as well. Something I need to look into a little bit more, speaking of image quality, is the state of the AA filter on this thing. That's always something I looked for. That was one feature I hated about the Sony a6000 was it had a very strong AA filter. I don't know what the AA filter is in this. I think that most of the industry has gotten away from using strong AA filters, and I would guess that it either has a really weak one or none whatsoever, but that's something you guys can look into. Hopefully we won't be losing image quality there. I'm gonna look through the box. I don't see anything else in it. It was a tiny box and there weren't many things in it to begin with. Not much left to unbox here. You got the camera, you got your warranty papers and your information, your charging block, and your strap. This is a very small, simple package, but it gives you everything that you need. As a second body for a working professional, I see it as a no-brainer. I've saved $2,000 off of the competing bodies, whether that be the A7R4 or the A7S III. And if you're trying to run a profitable business, you have to take the dollars and cents into account, especially when the features that you would be upgrading to are maybe not that essential anyway. But in conclusion though, I feel like this is a really nice second body for a working professional, or even a primary body for an amateur. $1,800, this is a really attractive entry point into Sony's full frame line. You've got the full frame E-mount, you've got a 24 megapixel tried and true, wonderful image sensor. You're gonna be able to get all the great images that you want in a nice, durable, well-built package. I think Sony's hit a home run here. Maybe I'm a little late to the game. I think it's been out for almost a year at this point, but you get it when you get it. But I'm really looking forward to using this thing. And in the future, I'll put out a full review, talk you through some of the features, what I like, what I don't like, but my initial impressions are this is a really cool camera. But guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you got something out of it. Maybe hearing some of my rationale behind deciding to buy the Sony A7C will help you get to that decision as well. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. If you could, before you go, ring the bell, give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, helps my channel grow, and helps me keep creating videos like this for you guys. But I'll see you guys later.